Mr. President, Your Excellency Apostolic Nuncio, Excellencies, dear representatives of the Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs, dear guests, allow me to welcome you on the occasion on the New Year's meeting of His Excellency Peter Pellegrini, President of the Slovak Republic, with the diplomatic corps accredited to the Slovak Republic. Mr. President, I kindly ask you to present your speech.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, let me cordially welcome each of you in the premises of this beautiful Bratislava Castle. As we gather in this wonderful setting, I want to extend my heartfelt wishes for a prosperous and fulfilling year ahead. May this new year bring you joy, good health, and success in all your goals, especially those who have recently taken on their missions here in Slovakia. Please pass my best wishes and greetings also to your heads of state. I understand that there are some of you who are celebrating your lunar new year today. What a coincidence. This is our first gathering in this format, but I have already had the pleasure of meeting several of you. Your roles are crucial in strengthening the bonds that connect our nations and fostering a spirit of cooperation. Thanks you for all your work in this regard. We all see that the world around us is changing dynamically, especially in a new style and form of promoting foreign policy interests. More than multilateralism, there is a focus on the uncompromising enforcement of national priorities in the areas of security, energy, and migration policy. Institutions that have functioned in our world until now will face a new challenge, whether they correspond to the new challenges of the era, whether they meet the requirements, and whether they are not just a relic of the old system. Similarly, the EU faces a series of challenges in keeping pace with the world, especially or specifically with China and the United States of America. This will not happen without a reassessment of priorities in the areas of energy, asylum, migration, and green policy. Support for innovation is more than necessary. Otherwise, there is a risk of falling behind and decline. It is more than evident that the EU cannot move forward without the courage to bring about fundamental changes in all areas of its politics. For the Slovak Republic, it is important that multilateralism has its proper place. World politics should not be reduced to a dictate of powerful states in the sense of take it or leave it, but should also consider the interest of smaller states. Effective multilateralism is key to fostering dialogue and cooperation among nations. It allows us to engage in constructive discussion that address the root causes of conflicts and misunderstandings. Through these platforms, we can collaborate in seeking common ground and building consensus on all pressing global issues. And in a world where challenges are increasingly interconnected, our responses must also be coordinated. We must strengthen our multilateral institutions and ensure they are properly equipped to handle the complexities of modern diplomacy. The Slovak Republic promotes a foreign policy in all four corners of the world, but with the understanding that our living space is within the EU and NATO. These organizations guarantee also our internationally recognized borders and the free, secure economic development. New times are coming, and it is necessary to prepare for them, and it is not excluded that the EU will have to take great responsibility for its own security, and Slovakia along with it. Consequently, we must have more influence on global processes. Given the challenges our world faces today, I want to address the war situation in Ukraine. The need for peace in Ukraine has never been more urgent. We are convinced that dialogue and diplomacy are key to resolving conflicts. We advocate for a just and lasting peace that respects international law and can arise from the current geopolitical reality. In addition, energy security is a significant issue not only for Slovakia, but for the entire international community. As tensions rise in various parts of the world, we recognize the urgent need for sustainable and reliable energy solutions. It is unacceptable to change the rules of the game and commitments according to what suits me at a given moment, as we have witnessed in recent days. As we navigate today's complex geopolitical environment, we remain committed to maintaining an open and honest dialogue with the Ukrainian government and other partners. Our common goal is to ensure that energy remains stable, accessible, and sustainable for all countries. This is not just a national issue, it is a shared responsibility that we must address collectively while working towards a resilient energy future for everyone. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, looking ahead to the new year, let us embrace the idea that diplomacy should guide our efforts in resolving global conflicts. The world is interconnected, and the challenges we face are often shared. We must promote the ideas of humanity, striving to create a world where peace is the norm rather than the exception. Through open dialogue and mutual respect, we can build bridges and foster lasting peace among nations. In conclusion, I wish you all a joyful and successful year 2025. May 2025 be a year filled with hope, progress, and unity. Let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration and diplomacy, working together to illuminate the path toward a brighter future for all of us and of all of our citizens. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your speech, Mr. President. And now I want to kindly ask His Excellency, the Apostolic Nuncio, for his speech.
Your Excellency, Mr. President of the Republic of Slovakia, at the beginning of the new year 2025, we are gathered here as a diplomatic family to convey to Your Excellency, to your distinguished family, to the member of the government of Slovakia, and to all citizens and people of Slovakia, our best wishes of peace and happiness. It is a great honor for me, on behalf of the head of mission of Diplomatic Corps and international organization, the first time since Your Excellency assumed the office of President of the Republic of Slovakia, to express our wishes of support for your important and delicate mission. In fact, we come here together today for a meeting that, apart from its institutional character, seeks above all to strengthen the already existing strong sentiment of friendship of the countries that each of us represent with the people of Slovakia. Our diplomatic community feels very well integrated in the very charming Slovak society and is happy to participate with the government, the public institution, in supporting projects and initiatives to fulfill the expectation of a young generation and to help the most vulnerable and less privileged people in society. Mr. President, the beginning of a new year brings always new breaths of hope, joy, and expectation. So even if our contemporary world is presently crossed by many conflicts and war, the need of peace challenged all of us and demands that concrete steps must be taken to promote negotiation aimed at lasting peace. The 145th anniversary of the birth of the great Slovak hero, Milan Rastislav Stefanik, is an occasion for reawakening and strengthening in Slovakia sentiments of unity, respecting the cultural and ideological differences, firmly convinced that by being united, we can go far in reaching the well-being of all. Stefanik dedicated his life to defend the unity and the freedom of his people. The events that Slovakia faced recently should offer to all a time of reflection. As Pope Francis very often repeats, there is a need to embrace the logic of encounter, promoting fruitful space of dialogue, participation, and social compromise. Mr. President, I take this opportunity on behalf of my colleagues of the diplomatic community in Slovakia to express our sincere and cordial gratitude to His Excellency Mr. Juraj Blanar, Minister of Foreign and European Affairs, Mr. Marek Eštok, State Secretary, and to all the official staff of the Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs for the valuable and highly professional services that we receive daily from them, and also for listening to us when we present specific requests for keeping and improving our service and contribution to the country. Mr. President, I wish to conclude quoting Ludwig Stur, the great patriot of Slovakia, who always encouraged people to look forward with a vision. He wrote that even if humanity looks in decline, we do need to keep hope, because it will be a temporary decline. With these hopeful words, we renew our best wishes. Šťastný nový rok, pán prezident. Prajem Slovensku nádej, entuziasmus a prosperitu. Ďakujem.
Thank you. Ďakujeme, Your Excellency. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and now I would like to invite you for a reception in the Grand Conference Hall. Thank you. Please.